what their intentions are. And black men have, it's like, you have a thought that this is what's happening, but he doesn't have anything to prove it. And black women, you know what I'm saying, they're like, they're their own cause of the confusion and the destruction.
Mm-hmm.
Like they do it themselves. Now they kind of mentioned something about like,
wait, hold up, what? What you saying now? They're the cause of them themselves.
mm-hmm.
Let me just see here. Let's get this lined up.
This talks about the black woman's emotional insecurity and how their fears. Still doing it?
Yeah, I'm listening to you though.
Nah, you as well.
Wait, hold up, what?
And how it
What you saying now?
how that relates to the problem.
No, not those, not yet. Just wait. Everybody some more of this, right?
She says in the beginning, she says,
Here it is, right here. I just want to make sure I'm on with the right book that you're talking about.
okay.
Ms. Ali is best known as the author of The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman, a very controversial.
Okay.
That's the black woman?
Okay.
Okay. Because then she did one,
For black men.
yeah,
But this one, you know what I'm saying, like
that was
this-
the most controversial one. That's it. Go ahead, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, it's like it. So, it says the black man has suffered and continues to suffer in all aspects of his life, generated by the problem he has with his woman. He has endured rejection and failure in his personal life almost as calmly and success and triumph. Naturally, during these computerized, fast-paced times, it is not fashionable for the black woman to be in submission to the black man. In retaliation, the black man has withdrew his support in all areas. He tries to work his life around the scorn. Still, this report does not absolve or vindicate the black man from his negligence and allowing the black woman to become distasteful. It says he cannot continue to shrink his portion of the responsibility of her outrageous and embarrassing conduct. Like, like she's holding no punches.
You know, I said something the other day because polygyny was the topic on social media for two sisters. These two sisters would be considered influencers,
Sure.
social media influencers, and the one sister is for it. She's for polygyny. Now she's not in the truth, but she's for polygyny. And another sister, like they're both supposed to be in the conscious community or pro-black or culturally aware of being Pan-African. Both the sisters. And the one sister, she rejects it. She's against it. And all these comments just flood in, right? For both the sisters, okay? Pros and cons and disagreements and no ways and yes, sister. And my thing was, I made a quick post because I wanted to talk about it soon. My thing was just, if our sisters were so involved in all these other matters, like how we talk about polygyny and like how they go in, you know what I'm saying? If our sisters were so involved in the over-sexualization and not being over-sexualized, if our sisters were so involved in the fight against pedophilia or molestation, the fight against LGBTQ, yo, like how they are against polygyny and they're fighting against it, like, you know, they're ready to talk about it and going in. We have sisters like this, you know? You just got it today?
I just opened it up today.
Okay, because that's a... You know, Captain Tazariak brings that book out a lot. Or he used to, during his lectures. Zaya, can you do me a favor, Baba Kusha? Can you get me a water out of the refrigerator? And ask Officer Bar if he wants one out of the refrigerator. Okay? We have some waters in the refrigerator. Always utilize those first, alright?
Okay.
You can go ahead and get you one. And get Officer Bar. Go.
It's like on page 93, she goes in a little bit though.
Yeah.
Just
We're gonna start the class.
Okay.
It's the ISUPK. No, I want you to bring it out because we can talk about it, go over some scriptures with it. So Tawada, it's the ISUPK Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under commanding General Yohana out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York City, New York since 1969. 1 West. Okay. Commanding General Yohana, the only man authorized and set up and organized by the Most High to lead Israel. Fawada. Lead Israel. Back to the Most High. Okay. And with that being said, this is the home of the truth. Okay. Captain Azania. All right. Rocking with me. The class. Officer Bar. All right. This is the scripture breakdown. Scripture breakdown class. Okay. And Bar is speaking about a book. You can go right ahead, Officer Bar, what you were saying, Salaki.
Yeah, Salaki, on page 93, she goes in a little
Just call the book one more time, because
Okay,
so people know.
Sharada Ali, The Black Woman's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. On page 93, she goes and she says, very few black women know the pleasure or thrill of being in accord with a black man.
Ooh! Say that one more time, man.
Very few women know the pleasure or thrill of being in accord with a black man. All the good things she says she wants would be immediately available for her if she drops her defenses, drops her suspicions, and allows herself to melt into the waiting arms of the man who loves her. The man who is man enough to provide and protect her and deserves her love. The man who is the most beautiful, the most regal, and the most sought after creature on God's earth. The black man.
Yo. And this was the most controversial book in the early 90s. Like, this book made national news. I think it was burned, purchased just to be thrown in the trash. Like, this book was crazy. And do you hear what this sister said in such a poetic, deep, inspirational way? Did you hear what this sister said? That was off the chain. Can you please, Baba Kishar, can you please name the title of the book again, call the page.
Okay, Sluggy, there's some things that correlate with that she said earlier in the book. That's just kind of like, well, damn. Salakia, this is Shahrazad Ali, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. On page 93, very few black men, it's like very few black women know the pleasure or thrill of being in accord with the black man. All the good things she says she wants would be immediately available to her.
Hold on, let me just start from the top. If you don't mind, God will move on. I know you just cracked the book open. I have no idea why. I mean, just, you know how Amazon, you seldom go to it. That's me. But every time I go to it, it's got that in the shopping cart. I don't know why I still haven't purchased that book. And that is fire how she said it. Okay. She said what?
Very few black women know the pleasure.
Know the what?
Know the pleasure.
Know the what?
Know the pleasure.
Yo, there was something said at the Feast of Unleavened Bread. I think General Mahaiman was saying how different the men in the ISUPK are compared to the men in the world. We are extraordinary men. You know what I'm saying? Like, what we dedicate our life to, which is the Most High, our King, Yahweh Shai, the ISUPK, Hebrew Academy. What we dedicate our life to in the ISUPK makes us extraordinary men. And when he said that, I know the sisters agree. That's what he said. All the sisters concert and clapping, and this sister said the pleasure. She said there is pleasure. Everywhere you go, all social media outlets, all magazines, all television shows, all of society is geared towards black women. Self-care. That's a big term now, right? Self-care. Self-awareness. What's that singer name? Vito. Oh my goodness, he sung that one song. Every woman knows that song. Get your bag, leave him. You can do better. You better on your own, girl. Hit that gym. Go get fine. Go on your vacation that you've been wanting to go to. Everything is geared towards what will give the woman pleasure. Because if you ask her, what does she want in life or out of a relationship? What does she say?
To be happy.
To be what?
To be happy.
I'm too out the water. Mary J. Blige had that song. All I ever want is to be happy, to live my life and be happy, be free, be happy, 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 happy. And this sister says that there's pleasure in what? She says few women get to experience the pleasure
or thrill.
Or what?
Or thrill.
Damn. Shirazad?
Sloppy.
Go ahead.
There is happiness and excitement in being in accord. with
And being
black
in
people.
what?
Being in accord.
She says pleasure, thrill, happiness, excitement.
Sloppy. It says if she drops her defense.
No. I want to stay in accord. I want to stay in accord. You know what precept I'm looking for, right? Yeah. Acts chapter 2, verse 1. Officer Thawamgabar brought this book out. I didn't do it. Don't think it was me. Don't think it was Captain Azania or the scripture breakdown class. It's the Shirazad. I didn't do it. Thawamgabar brought this book. I seen it in his hands. I said, that's gotta be the book. Is that the book? Is that the one of the most controversial books ever written? A black woman writing to black people about bettering your relationships? And it's so controversial. So heavily controversial. You got the preset for me, Bumper the Show? Go right ahead when you got it.
Acts chapter 2, verse 1. And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord.
They were what?
All with one accord.
They were what?
All with one accord.
Keep going.
In one place.
Okay. Give me Philippians chapter 2, verse 2. Philippians chapter 2. I think it's Philippians chapter 2, verse 2.
Philippians chapter 2, verse 2.
I think that's it.
Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded.
That you be what?
Like-minded.
That you be what?
Like-minded.
You be like-minded. You be like-minded. You be like-minded. There's so much bumping our heads, man. There's so much, no, let's go this way. No, let's go that way. And majority of the time, that's only done just because the sister about to go in on it. Instead of just being in one accord. Just being simple. What's ways that destroys being in one accord?
Lucky.
Go ahead.
Being selfish, defensive.
That's heavy. Yeah. Selfish, defensive. Absolutely.
Inconsiderate.
Inconsiderate. I think there's just a demon, right? I think there's just this demon, right? To where a lot of sisters have to fight this demon. A lot of men have to fight this demon. But since we're talking about, you know, the black man and the black woman and the relationship in this book here, and the marriage, the union, I think there's just it just gets this demon on our sisters, on Eve, to where it's like, just doubt what the nigga say. Just doubt what he says. Everything he says, question it. I really think there's a demon to where, like, everything he says, you gotta ask another question about it. Every brother's experienced this. You say something to your rib. You say something to your rib, right? She questions it, or like, who, and you're questioning her. I mean, you made a statement to her that's like scientific fact, right? She said, for instance, okay, y'all go y'all separate ways. You go to your slavery, she go to her slavery, whatever. Y'all come back together, right? Hours later, she says, oh, my girlfriend was talking about such and such. And you said the same thing to her, right? And because her girlfriend said it, it was just like readily accepted. Yo, I'll be like, yo, that demon on y'all with that? I could say, this right here, inside of this bottle, this is called water, H2O. H2O? How you know it's H2O? This is the, on the periodic table, the elements that combine to come together to form what is called water. It's hydrogen, 2 parts, and oxygen, H2O. It makes this up. She's gonna look at you and go, H2O. But why would it be 2? Why is it that? How do you know water comes together like that when water just automatically is already in existence? So who can put these elements together to get it? I don't know about that. You sure about that? She will go to a university. She will pay a professor, sit in the professor's class, and the professor will say, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Professor Squidward, and in this bottle is H2O. I'll be like, yo, I hate that demon, yo. Because you know what's hard, Falwam Gabal? Mm-hmm. It's difficult because we're black men. We niggas. So nobody listens to us. Nobody cares. We gotta battle everybody on everything. Your slavery, you gotta battle all day. In the world, in the street, you gotta battle everybody all day. And then when you tell your rib something, she's supposed to be the one that gave her body to you. And then it just comes back like, I just can't stand. I just believe the one accord is like, I agree. He's not lying. He can't. Why would he lie about this? Why would he make this up? Why would he say that this is something that it's not? Why? You know what? I agree. Let's be on one accord and be in agreement. You know why? Because then we can do what? We can just move forward. It's just a demon that's got to be fought. So when she say in one accord, go ahead, but you gonna bring out something else or?
God.
Okay, but you save that page for me.
It's like, it just so happens I had this page on. It's like page 74. She is known to take her family's advice on everything, from keeping house to bedroom protocols.
To what?
To bedroom protocols.
To what?
To bedroom protocols.
What did I talk about today? DJ Envy? You heard about DJ Envy's rib? She went on Angela Yee's show, DJ Envy from the Breakfast Club. He's a famous DJ. She went on Angela Yee's show. Angela Yee has her side show. the Moabite that everybody thinks is a sister. She's not an Israelite. She's not a sister. Her father is Chinese, and her mother is Eve, her sister. She has this show called Lip Service, and everybody that comes on her show has to say something about sex. It always gets to a sexual conversation. DJ Envy's rib is on this show. Not many people know her like that. She says, I've never experienced an orgasm in 10 years. And I'm just like, why? Why say that in the public? Because I need healing. Why are you talking to the world and everybody else about your intimate personal business with your man? Who else has to know that? Because if DJ Envy would have came out and be like, yo, love with my wife is trash, yo. This is basura. I can't stand being with her. Like, just said that on the Breakfast Club one morning. Everybody would cancel him. Am I right or wrong? And every time I see him on the Breakfast Club, all he does is, my wife is so wonderful. She's so sweet. And I just be like, damn, man, give it a break. I know, brother, but like, come on. We need to treat our women right. My wife is marvelous. My wife, my wife, my wife, my wife. Yo, how was the game last night? You watched the game? My wife was watching it with me. Yo, you got that recipe? You got that recipe to make the sweet potato pie? My wife used to make this sweet potato pie.
God, he does that.
He does that. Am I right or wrong? And it's annoying as hell. It's like, why is he still on the show? You know why? Because he's pandering to black women. Because black women just gotta hear this. Not all sisters. But I'm just saying, women just gotta hear somebody. And on the Breakfast Club today, I didn't watch the full video. Amir Khan is a boxer. He is an Elamite. No, Ishmaelite. He's an Ishmaelite, right? He got robbed at gunpoint with his rib. His rib took off and ran. And in the Breakfast Club, they're like, why'd she run? Because Amir Khan probably told her what?
To run.
Thank you. Because in other cultures, what do women do? They run for safety. Right? But our culture has been so destroyed. Our sister's been so destroyed, they want to do what? They want to fight the man with the gun. I'm going to tell my rib, run. Go high. Let me get shot. What am I going to do if my rib gets shot? Is that the society we want to live in? Go ahead, you was bringing it up, Salaki. You had something? Go ahead.
Salaki.
From keeping the house to bedroom protocols. Sometimes if the black woman is angry with the black man, her family will adopt the same attitude and side with her against him without even knowing his side. The black woman also has a tendency to take sides with her mother against her father.
Against who?
Against her father.
Against who?
Against her father.
Where does that come from? Who set that dynamic up? The woman, the daughter, to go against her father and just automatically side with her mother and go against her father. Who created that?
Salaki.
Go ahead.
I mean, that's something that we've known, you know, in the culture here in the United States, you know, for the longest. You know, taking a black man out of the household. Taking a black man out of the household.
Who set that up? The oppressor, the slave master, the caveman that rules over us, subjects us, abuses us, and seeks to destroy us. He set that up. Make sure the children side with Big Mama. Right? Because if the children side with dad, their father, and the children want to stay with their dad, and the father stay in the house, what's the mother going to eventually do? She gonna do what?
Carnivore.
Woo! Not eventually. That's the first thing she gonna do. But did you hear that? You hear children say what? Women do what?
Call the cop.
That's horrible, man. That's horrible. She would call the cops at a disagreement with her husband. She would call the beast, the animal, in front of her children. She would call the cops. What's the brother name in Wisconsin 2 years ago? Got shot in the back.
In the car with the kids, right?
So the kids was in the back seat of the minivan.
God.
And he was going back into the vehicle. What was his name? You remember that though, right?
God. He's paralyzed, right?
He's paralyzed for life. He's in a wheelchair for life.
They prosecuted him in the hospital.
In handcuffs. Kenosha. That's it. I'm just trying to get the brother's name because I feel bad that I missed it. There's so many shootings and brothers getting shot every day. Jacob Blake.
Yeah.
Jacob Blake. What happened? You remember that? Do you remember the story?
God. It's lucky. It was a fight over the two women were fighting, of course.
Where at?
At the birthday party.
Whose birthday party? The children's birthday party. His children's birthday party. And he got called to come get these kids. I can't stand these kids. And when he goes to pick up his kids, then what does the woman say? Don't you take my kids. Don't you take my kids. And she fighting with the other woman. And he like, I ain't keeping my kids here with no fight. My kids is coming with me. Oh, no, they ain't. Calls the cops on him. Right? And he telling the cops, I'm here breaking up the fight. And they try to arrest him. He like, nah, man. Get off me. And he walks to his van. Walks to his van. Leans over in the front seat. Boom, boom, boom. Shoot the brother up all in his back. And he's paralyzed for life. Because she called the cops.
Yeah.
And that teaches the children to have dissension and hate for one or the other parent. That's a trauma. That's horrible. That's how we're raised. Go ahead, Al.
So like, after all, he is just another man. The black man is generally thought of as wrong no matter what the topic, especially if he's not doing something the black woman wants him to do. It does not.
Wait, go back, because that's why you went to this page, right?
God.
The first part of the sentence. Read that again.
So, Slakia, she is known to take her family's advice on everything, from keeping house to bedroom protocols. Sometimes, if the black woman is angry with the black man, her family will adopt the same attitude and side with her against him without even knowing his side. So that's something that we see with the police. You know what I'm saying? Whoever calls first, it's not the black man who's typically calling. They're going to side, you know what I'm saying, with the black woman.
Yep.
And of course, his side.
Why don't you just leave, buddy?
Right.
Just walk away. Just leave. Go stay at your mom's house on the couch. Just go have a cold one. Go have a cold one over your buddy's house. Just leave. Why? Why should I leave? I'll pay the bills here. I live here. This is my house. No, it ain't. This is my name. That's my house. This is my house. Why should I leave? Why should I feel uncomfortable? Why can't I sit down and sleep in my bed? Go ahead,
It's like you're dropping down. It says, the black man is generally thought of as wrong no matter what the topic, especially if he's not.
Is that why you went here?
Well, it's like it.
Because I was saying how
The girlfriends.
every time you say something, it's a demon on the sister, on the woman, on the rib. Not all sisters, please. I'm just saying there's a demon that's just like, fight back. Just disagree with him. Just fight back. That ain't true. That ain't true. That ain't right. Nope. How you know? How you know?
I mean, Slaki, she goes in on a lot of stuff though, but Slaki, it says the black woman extends the same privileges to her girlfriends. The relationships with her friends are of vast priority and importance because she can count on them to give her sympathy and understanding about her problems at home. Which goes back into, you know, they will side, even the family will side with, you know, what the black woman is doing, even if they haven't heard what the black man has done.
Right.
Which goes against anything that he says he's guilty, no matter what. And even as you go a little bit further on, black women will try to set up a black man, of course, though, you know, oh, tell your girlfriend to go holler at him. They'll send their friend to go try to holler at a black man, and then it's like, oh, well, he failed that test. No, he didn't. Still on.
Right. But just to side with her,
Right.
just to have sympathy. And, you know, the feminist movement is white supremacy, man. Okay. The feminist movement. I see, you ever heard of the show called The Golden Girls? Bunch of old women living together. I see women like taking that mindset. Like, it's like, do y'all want to just live together? Like, you might as well. Like, don't be happy with somebody that's going to agree with you and destroy all your relationships. Y'all can just all be together, old ladies living in the house together. Thank you for being a friend. Don't make no sense. It's not understood. And the sister's breaking it down, man. That book is off the chain. Go ahead. You had the next page though, right? Oh, you had something else?
Oh, yeah, it's like, there's some other stuff that parallels and correlates to the very first comment that we pulled back in 94.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, you can do it. But go back to page 94 or 93.
Oh, it's like in 93.
Because you was talking about one accord, right? Or a chord.
Kind. It's like page 93 of the Shirazad Ali, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. Mm-hmm. Very few black women know the pleasure or thrill of being in accord with the black man.
Accord. I asked, what does accord mean? Accord means, accord. Of a concept or fact, be harmonious or consent with. That's accord. An official agreement. Accord. To being on one accord. I'm just going to check this real quick. This is the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Merriam-Webster Dictionary, accord. Right? See if this sound.
Accord. Accord.
Okay, I was about to say. I thought it was going to read off the whole definition. Okay, accord. To grant or give, especially as appropriate, due, or earned. To bring into agreement. To be consent or in harmony, agree. That is heavy, man. To arrive at an agreement. To give consent. That's an accord, man. Philippians chapter 2 verse 2 says, fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. You gotta be in this together. That's what love is. It's one accord. It's a trigger word to say submission. Submit. It's a trigger word. I hate that term, trigger. That triggers women to feel angry. Why? 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 So you see, why? Why would that make somebody feel triggered or angry? When submission is scientific, it happens in nature. It happens in nature. Women will give up their treasure box, their intimate, most intimate, private part, and be selfish with everything down along the line. That is outstandingly destructive. And when they hear the word submit, it's like, oh my gosh, the black man is like the white man during slavery. I heard that. Because the black man say submit. Submission is nothing but order. It's fine to submit. It's about order. The Most High established and set up order. Salakia. But the sexual organ of a male is outside of him. It's more dominant and powerful than the sexual organ of a female. It has to be inserted. So he has to give. So in order for her to be one with him, have sex with him, she has to embrace him or take him or humble herself. That is nature. That's nature. She submits. So you just submitted your body, but you don't want to submit in life and be on one accord? That's a demon on you. Does the moon submit to the sun? Who has more power and control, the sun or the moon?
Sun.
The what?
The sun.
That's correct. So the moon submits to the sun. The moon submits to the sun. It's just nature. Does the ocean submit to the moon?
Because the moon pulls it
And does what?
and makes the waves go higher, but like it pulls it.
Called what?
Uh,
Start with the letter T. You said it the other day. It pulls the ocean's gravity and makes waves. Called a tide. Yo, so everything is in submission to one to each other. Something got to fall into place. And it creates order. If the moon wasn't there, then the waves would just be all crazy. If the sun wasn't there, the moon wouldn't know where to go. If the sun wasn't there, then there wouldn't be no orbit. There's nothing wrong with submitting. There's nothing wrong with being on one accord. It's a demon that continues to say, well, what about, I don't know. But this is mine. What you talking about? Submitting is part of nature. It's fine. And it brings pleasure. What else is this to say? Excitement, enjoyment. You're going to enjoy life. Go ahead, Dalwan.
Like, if I could, just to go off of what you said, not to get too much of the stars and the sun and the moon and stuff, but everything has to be on accord. Otherwise, you know what I'm saying, Mars would be rolling into the sun. The Earth, you know what I'm saying, would get pulled into Mars.
That's right.
The gravitational orbits of the different planets, you know what I'm saying, allows it to stay in its proper orbit.
You're not saying something that's weird. The Bible is scientific. That's absolutely true. Everything has to be in orbit, in a circle, in an order, in a cycle. The woman's body submits itself. The eggs submit themselves. The ovaries submit themselves inside to go by a particular order. And they die. It's just order. And she has a cycle so that new ones can regenerate. It's a cycle. It's fine. Go ahead.
Very few black women know the pleasure or thrill of being in one accord with the black man. All the good things she has, like she says she wants, would be immediately available to her if she drops her defenses, drops her suspicions, and allows herself to melt into the waiting arms of the man who loves her.
That independent, do all for myself, self, that is white supremacy. Boy, we might have to do a lecture, man, on the mask of white supremacy. Because black people really believe that they're pro-black when they're doing things that are white supremacist. If you say you are an Egyptian, or you study Egyptian science, or Egyptology, or you're Kemet, if you say you study that, that's white supremacy. That's white supremacy. Because Edomites, the so-called white man, he loves following Kemet and studying Kemet and mocking his life after Kemet, Egypt. They're more Egyptologists than the conscious community. They take all them bones, them Egyptian bones, and put them in museums and study them, don't they?
God.
All those books that, what's his name, Jabari? Let me make this perfectly clear, family. All the books that he reads, who writes those books? The Metuneta. What's the other one? The Book of the Dead. The Story of Osiris. I just bought some more trash. The Egyptian dictionaries. Who writes that? Who writes that? Can anybody tell me who writes those books?
Edomite.
Who?
Edomite.
Edomites.
The Greek.
Give them a hand. Oh, the Greeks. Give them a hand. Give them a hand. You're absolutely right. The Greeks went into Egypt and destroyed the libraries and rewrote all the books and named it the library what? What's the big city in Egypt? What's one of the largest cities in Egypt? Alexandria, named after Alexander the Greek. Right? So all this Egyptian trash that everybody talking about, it's you just learning it because he learning it. So all these masks and facades that everybody's got on, thinking that they're pro-black or conscious or religious or right, all of these are really white supremacy. White supremacy to the fullest. Juneteenth is coming up. Why you laughing at me? You laughing at me, ain't you? John B? Syracuse is going to have John B as the headliner. John B. An Edomite. Anyway. The Pan-African Village in the Fair. Every year you go there, you go inside the Pan-African Village, you're going to see racks of dashikis. Racks of dashikis. Right? You're going to see Hamites selling dashikis. I want you to look at the tag. I walked over it one day. I said, I'm a pain myself. I'm going to go through the fire because there's no way in hell I'm going to buy a dashiki, of course, right? But I'm going to go and look at the dashiki. Feel the texture. It is the cheesiest, trashiest fabric. You deal with fabric, Thawam. Give it up for Officer Thawam, go on that garment. Passover. Feel the dashiki, Thawam. You're going to be disappointed. You're going to say, what? And then after you feel the dashiki, look at the tag where it says it's made at.
Yeah, like in China.
Made in where?
China.
Made in where?
China.
So they sell African culture to black Americans that's made where?
In China.
Get the hell out of here. I didn't mean to deviate. But all these things, man, that we doing, you think that you independent and self, and you think that black people came up with this? No. No. The white supremacists came up with it. Go ahead,
Okay, it's like it. Very few black women know the pleasure or thrill of being in one accord with a black man. All the good things she says she wants would be immediately available to her if she drops her defenses, drops her suspicions, and allows herself to melt into the waiting arms of the man who loves her. Drop it down. This position will increase her self-worth and gradually heal the psychological wounds of this wicked society.
Can y'all just come back to the sister, yo? The sister dropped it. Sister dropped it. I'm gonna just play a quick snippet. Go ahead, though. You was going to bring out something else. You said. Go ahead, Tyrone. Yeah.
Page 83. Page 83.
Where's it?
While you grab it, I'm gonna just play this real quick.
Oh, it's like in page 82 it is.
Oh, you got it?
Okay,
go ahead.
As a rule, the black woman cannot be fully trusted in money matters. Between she and the black man, somehow she equates the amount of money a black man makes or spends on her with how much he loves her.
Woo! Woo! Is that why you said polygyny? Or la'ah? Because what is something that people say? Oh, we'll agree with polygyny if what?
He can afford it.
He can do what?
He can afford it.
He can do what?
He can afford it.
What the hell does that mean? You sound like a prostitute. You sound like a slave. You sound like you could be bought out. Your love is determined by what? The amount of money? When I hear that, I go, my stomach starts to go like this. I'll be like, are you serious? And this is what I hear from sisters. He can have as many wives as he wants, as long as he can afford all of them. And why do black women say that about black men? Can anybody please entertain my thought? Why is that an argument presented to black men?
They're jealous.
Jealous, yeah, that's not it. Yeah, that's it. But why are they saying it to black men? As long as he can afford them. Why are they saying it to black men?
It's a lot.
Please, star woman. Hold on. Let me just check. Anybody online want to entertain that for me? Why are they saying that to black men? This gotta be crazy. Oh, TV show Living Single. Yeah, that was a good one, Martez. Yep.
Who, Sinclair?
All the sisters living together. Or just, being with each other.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sisters is going to take care of each other no matter what. They'll date this man 1 week. They'll date that next man another month. Oh, they'll fight each other, but they'll always come together because they're living. That was a good... Give Martez Roberts a hand, young man. Shout out to him, man. He don't mind taking that bus, catching that flight. He don't. Okay? He does not. He was here at the Feast of Unleavened Bread closing. Yeah, they're living single. In the 90s, what she say? In the 90s, it's a hard world, but I'm glad I got my girl.
Friends.
Oh, Friends was a little bit different, though.
No, it's like Girlfriends, the show Girlfriends.
Oh, yeah. But I'm just singing the theme song for Living Single. Right? And it's Queen Latifah. Keep your head up. That's right. Keep your head up. You know, whenever we got to fight, we got to fight. To my left, to my right. Homegirls, get it right. Homegirls, yeah. And I'm thinking of the theme song. I'm like, damn, it is some brothers in the show.
But they make them clown. It's like you said.
But I'm saying there's some brothers in the show. There is some brothers in the show. They don't get part of the theme song. They not girls. They're not homegirls. They're not sisters. And then how come the sisters want to fight the world without the black man? That's kind of gay. That's kind of weird. And you had two different brothers. You had one brother who was the handyman. He can fix anything. And you had the other, yeah. And he dated Sinclair because Sinclair was the silly, dumb one. But the silly, dumb one, that was a joke, she had a man. You know, see the psychology behind it? Yeah. The one that's a clown has a man. But she only has a man because she's stupid and Overton is stupid. And the other brother, he's a what was he, a lawyer?
I believe so.
He's a big lawyer too. A lawyer, well educated, loved the arts and the jazz. But when you watch the show, what was his name? Oh my goodness, he had some sugar in his tank.
Okay.
He made you go, well, hold up, what's wrong with the brother? He all right? He a little effeminate. Him and Maxine used to go back and forth, but they never could get together, but they could have sex with each other. You know why? Because Maxine was masculine. Remember how masculine she was? She just come in and open up the refrigerator, scratch her belly, and she would get with him. He had a tone about him that was Kyle. Okay. Kyle, Khadijah, Sinclair, all of them. Yeah. Overton. Maxine. All right. Salaki about all that. But you're right, brother. Okay. But the brother, you was bringing something out heavy. You bringing it out heavy.
Salaki.
Right. Oh, no, I had asked a question.
Okay. Well,
what was the question I had asked? Salaki.
Well, no, this was you were talking about
the TV show.
What was it? Golden Girls, and he mentioned
Living Single, right? But I just recently asked the question.
Something about.
I just said it, Salaki. It slipped my mind.
Okay.
What question did I just ask? And I said I was going to check and see if anybody had it.
It had something to do about money. Oh, can you afford me?
Said polygyny. Right. Why is that an argument that gets pushed to the black man? If you can afford it. Why is that an argument entertained in the black community? What's the average median income of the black man? 40,000? 50,000? That's kind of high, Uncle Bob. You're probably right. I'm just trying to give it some space. So let's say 40,000. We'll just ballpark it. Let's say 40,000, right? Is the median income of the black man. So what is affording though, Uncle Bob? What do they mean by that? Isn't that very vague? If you can afford them? You know why that's said? Why is that said, Uncle Bob? Why is that pushed in the argument?
If I could.
Please.
So, in regards to earnings by age and ethnicity, black and Hispanic, or black, non-Hispanic, between the age of 20 and 29 is 22,800. 30 39 is 38,800.
That okay.
40 to 49 is 46,679. And then 50 to 59 is $46,008. It's gone down, you know what I'm saying? You know, for
What's Hispanics?
for blacks.
Okay, what's Hispanics?
It doesn't even show the list for Hispanics.
Or it doesn't?
It's sloppy comparative to the white counterparts. 20 to 29, it's 32,000, which is $10,000 more. And then it almost doubles.
Give me the 30-year-olds. Eat them.
30 to 39 is 59,000.
Damn. They making 60,000. Compared to what? Our 40,000?
Gotcha.
38,000. I'm rounding it off.
38,900.
Right. Right. I'm saying 40,000. They're making 60,000. Why is that an argument? Why do the sisters bring that up? If you can afford it, why would they say that,
So because of these statistics right here.
Okay.
I mean, when you're
Meaning what?
when you're looking, at, the income, when you're looking at the lifestyle, of course, though, that women typically want to try to obtain.
Yeah.
And that's one of the points that she makes right here in the book, which is more or less, if I could, from her fairy tale roots. It's a fairy tale lifestyle. Black men making, enough money to cover all the expenses and the additional lavish entertainment, the opulent, fashions and whatever else you would say. It's not something realistic. We're the ones that's always being told to get a job. We're the ones that I'm saying, being told that, we can't take care of our families, of course. We're not the ones that's typically graduating, from college with high level degrees and going into the high level executive, positions within the workplace. So when you look at that, comparative, to white counterparts, yeah, you can't afford that. You can't afford, to have, cake and ice cream. You gotta choose.
So they're saying that. Give me the bottom line. Why would sisters bring that up in an argument? To say, we'll accept polygyny if you can afford. Because they know what?
That most men can't.
Thank you. That's it. Because they can. And then, when you really break it down, sisters like to work. Don't black women like to work? Black women love to work. They love to work. When a sister says, oh, if you can afford it, and if I can stay home, you don't want to stay home. A black woman that stay home goes crazy. Am I right or wrong? And then, Tawam, can you hold that and get me Proverbs 31, Baba Kashaw? They love this scripture, Proverbs chapter 31. Oh no, you don't have to hold Philippians.
Okay.
Yeah. I was saying hold what you have in the book. They love Proverbs 31. Don't women sisters love Proverbs 31? A virtuous woman? Ain't everybody a virtuous woman? I hear everybody say they're a virtuous woman. I'm a virtuous woman. Proverbs 31. Proverbs 31. Give me verse 23.
Proverbs, verse 31.
Chapter 31.
Chapter 31, verse 23.
Why?
Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land.
What does her husband do? What does he do?
Salaki.
Go ahead.
He works at the gates, which is, he's at the head of the house. He's protecting. he's being, you know, he's making the move, you know what I'm saying, for the family, of course. The decisions.
No, this is the gates. When we have camp, where do we have camp at?
Downtown?
Right. Why? What happens downtown? Traffic.
Kind of.
It's a gate. It's a gateway to each side of the city. Her husband is in the ISUPK. He's known in the gates. Meaning he teaches, he do camp, he speaks with the generals and the captains. This is her husband. Keep going, verse 24.
She maketh fine linen and selleth it.
Whoa. She does what, Don?
Maketh fine linen and selleth it.
And does what?
And selleth it.
Keep going.
And delivereth girdles unto the merchant.
What does that mean she does? What does she do? She makes clothes. She has her own business. And then she goes to the merchants and she sells. She sells goods. Don't it say marketplace in this one? Right.
I was just looking at these statistics in regards to the income. It's a list of ethnic groups and household in the United States by income.
Oh, it's horrible. Wow. Go ahead, please.
Asian Americans, median household income, $87,000.
An Asian American family makes what?
$87,000.
White supremacy makes you selfish. Wants you to be selfish. Wants you to do what? Mine. We don't share. The Asians don't do that. Officer Dawam Gabar, you ever deal with Asians in the business world?
Yeah.
Will they live with each other?
Yeah.
Will they list their residence with other people in that small residence?
God. It's a lot.
Please. You don't have to go too deep, but go ahead.
They will make sure that their children are set up, you know what I'm saying, with a business that they can always come back to.
With a what?
A business that they can always come back to.
I mean, they live together, right? They come over here and they live with their cousins.
Concept.
They live with their parents. The parents live with them and they just want to live with that one and all of them. And then eventually, what happens? All of them get their own little Chinese restaurant or some type of business.
Yeah. So like the parents will typically pay, you know what I'm saying, for whatever while they're in college, pursuing their education. I mean, I can give you 3 different examples. This one cat, you know what I'm saying, was working towards his master's, of course, and his father was paying all the bills. And of course, he had money being put to the side so that his son could take over once he was done with whatever he wanted to pursue. And he was living in New York City. Another, you know what I'm saying, living out in Buffalo, of course, though, where her parents were covering all her rent and all her expenses while, you know what I'm saying, she had her own money that she was able to put to the side. Another work here in Syracuse, of course, she graduated after college, of course, with no bills and at least $30,000 in her bank account. So now if she wanted to buy a vehicle, which she did, she paid in cash. And of course the parents gifted, you know, maybe like $15,000 towards the purchase of the vehicle so that they didn't have to finance.
Wow.
Ultimately speaking, the way that the Asian families or Chinese or wherever they come from, they are working in a way that builds towards one another. They support one another, of course, though.
Right.
And when you see the numbers here, the white Americans, right, average household income, $66,000. That's for white Americans though. But think about it, that includes the poor
Yeah.
and the wealthy. Right? African Americans, which is 43,800.
That's a family.
That's a family. When you come into Hispanic, it doesn't even have the statistic here though. But if you roll over to the side, it's coming in at roughly around 51,000.
What?
51,000 for Hispanic, which is still, you know, far lesser than that of the Asians or white Americans.
Wow. Forget about it.
So when you look at, you know what I'm saying, the statistics overall, of course, you know, we as a people, of course, what is it that we're going to be able to do? We're not going to be able to do a whole lot. But what she said in this book on page 82, she said,
Wait, did I have a precept? Or
Proverbs 31.
Okay, yeah,
24, with the merchants.
yeah. Read that one more time.
Proverbs chapter 31, verse 24. She maketh fine linen, and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant.
Okay. Hold on one second. I know it's another part in here. Read verse 13.
Verse 13. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands.
And does what?
Worketh willingly with her hands.
She loves to work, man. Sisters love to go to work. They want their own businesses. They want to be involved with something. What you talking about? Stay at home, you just stay at home. Who is telling y'all this? If you can afford it. We're in the Bible. What did Moses do for a living, huh? Didn't he have multiple wives?
Yeah.
He led the people. He led them in the war. He guided them. He instructed them. Yo, we gotta go back to our culture. Stop just listening to everything that you hear and accepting it. As long as you can afford them. That sounds nasty. That sounds like Arabs. Don't it? That sounds like Arabs. That sounds like Edomites. That sounds like something a filthy heathen nation of people would say. I'll buy more and more daughters. I'll buy all your guys' daughters because I can afford it. Let me buy them. Let me buy you. Let me buy all your women because I can afford it. Shut up. What? I'm just bringing that up as an example because money is always pushed as if it equivalates to love, like the sister said. It doesn't. Children don't require money. They don't care. You can take a child to the zoo, to the park. Am I right or wrong? Bring your child to the ISUPK. Let them have fun with each other. It's fine. You ain't got to spend all this money. Our child don't care. What is you requiring all this money for? I'm not saying don't buy nothing. I'm not saying reject money and don't get houses or whatever, businesses. That's not what I'm saying at all. When you make it a priority or the reason of existing or the reason of an idea or a culture, you're only doing that because you know that that's foolish and dumb. You're putting it above the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. Go ahead,
God's lucky. It says,
y'all got any questions or comments, please drop them. Go ahead, the one.
If he takes her out, she expects from her fairy tale roots for him to lay out the red carpet. She expects to be entertained in the most opulent fashions, ride in the most exclusive vehicles, and be dressed to the hilt. If a man falters on any of the above, he is considered to be cheap and classless, and she will make a bad report about him to her friends. That's what the black woman does. But if we drop down to the bottom of page 83, this is where it gets kind of deep. If a woman is working, she does not like the black man to know exactly how much she actually nets. She can't let him, quote, count my money.
What? Whose money?
Count my money.
Whose money?
Count my money.
Whose money is it though, Falcon?
It's his money.
It's whose money?
It's his money.
Damn right. Damn right. Damn right. We ain't in this together. Because it belongs to you. That's what you're saying.
God.
This book is off the chain.
It's like, if I could,
Right.
jump back up, right? If the black woman is married, it is an old adage among black women to advise each other to put something to the side or away for yourself, because you never know what's going to happen. This is an old program recommending that the black woman steal a little money, a little at a time, and put it up for a rainy day. The rainy day is considered to be the day that the black man runs out on her and leaves her broke and alone, going into marital or...
Yo, this was, what is the year on that book? Give me the year on that book. It should be on the first page or the second page, underneath the copyright.
1989.
What? What year?
1989.
That's before Tyler Perry was writing the movies out. Tyler Perry must have looked at that book and said, yeah, the man run out on her, but she saved some dollars for a rainy day. That's 1989. That's 1989. That's 30-something years ago, 33 years ago. Man. This sounds serious. Please.
So like, it says, going into a marital or live-in relationship that requires financial disclosure is therefore not a welcome commitment to the black woman, because she believes she must maintain some financial security of her own.
She must maintain what?
Some financial security of her home.
Mm-hmm.
She hides a little money away, but of course it requires her to lie, steal, and cheat. Drop it back down. If she is working, she does not like the black man to know exactly how much she actually nets. She can't let him count my money.
You read that part, right?
Count.
Okay, go ahead.
She slides around the topic whenever it comes up, or hides her pay stub. She considers money as a private matter, not to be overly discussed.
Money as a what?
Private matter.
As a what?
As a private matter.
What did I say the woman gives up? Her private
Her
treasure
box.
box. That's her private. That's her treasure. She won't give up the dollars.
Give it the box now.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna play a clip. Y'all got any scriptures? Y'all want broken down? Let's get some scriptures, some precepts. And I want that precept in the Apocrypha. Okay, I'm gonna look it up, y'all. Let me play this clip. Let me play a little bit. I'll just play a little bit. They went bananas. No. I need to look this up.
Hello, welcome welcome to this special edition of Vibrations. I'm Raven Geary. Today on our program, one of the hottest properties making the talk show circuit, Shahrazad Ali. An established writer indeed, Ms. Ali is best known as the author of The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. A very controversial and, if I may say so, a very critical view of life of today's black woman. She joins us today in our studio, and of course we'd like to welcome you today to Vibrations.
Well, thank you, Raven, for inviting me.
Basically, it's your premise that the black woman is out of sync with the natural order of things. Can you explain that?
Well, it's a very sensitive subject, and certainly I believe that I have tried to approach it from a very sensitive angle. What I have actually said is that the black woman's disrespect and rebellion against the leadership and the authority of the black man is a direct cause of the breakdown in the black family structure. It's not an attack on us as black women. It's just saying that in the breakdown of any relationship, both parties have to take responsibility. And as black women, we have been protected and insulated from any kind of examination about what our share of the responsibility is in the breakdown of the black family. My book represents the first platform, certainly, that the black man has ever had to air his grievances about the black woman, because no one would ever listen to him. They have only listened to us.
Can you tell us a little bit about the book?
Only thing I got to say against the sister is this. Who listens to the black man? Who listens to the black man? This is the only thing I got against the sister. This is 1989. Since 1969, the ISUPK is the organization to uplift the black man and to listen to the black man and to guide and teach the black man. And not just the black man, the black woman as well. That's all I got against the sister, because we got it.
Book itself, what brought you to this point of having to sit down and use your pen to write this book?
Well, actually, it was my first book. In 1985, I authored How Not to Eat Pork or Life Without the Pig. And at that time, I was going around doing what I was calling Get Off That Hog lectures. And during my travels, I noted that I would take the microscope and show people how you can't kill the trichina worm in pork by cooking it. Heat was not destroying the worm, and I would show them, the difference, and demonstrate how FDA was now using radiation to try to kill the worms in pork because cooking was not working, which is what we had always been told. And during that time, a lot of black men were in agreement to get off eating pork. They wanted to change their eating habits, and they were happy to find out some information that might possibly save their lives. But it was black women who were the most adamant, who refused to change meal planning techniques, seasoning food, cooking techniques. And so I said, that's interesting. I said, if we are refusing to provide the black man with the proper physical food when we know that food is what sustains life, then what else are we withholding from him? Possibly there are some other areas, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, that we are affecting his behavior by what we do or what we withhold and refuse to give. And that led me to try to find out. We've always heard that the black man leaves the black family, abandons his woman and children, won't take care of the children, won't work, stays out all night, turns into a drunk, takes drugs. We've heard a lot of negative things. Most of them are true. But I wanted to find out what happens before he gets to that point. What leads up to the breakdown? We've never gone back to try to find out what happens in the relationship between the black man and a black woman that makes him go off and do all of these bad things. To assume that this is just normal, natural behavior for black men would be to assume that he is naturally bad. And I do not believe that the man that God gave to us as a mate is a naturally bad person. And so I wanted to try to examine what goes on with him. What's his side of the story?
Did a black man ask you to write this book?
Oh, no, certainly not. I think they were just as surprised as black women. Many of them approached the title of the book with a little apprehension because they have not had a champion. We have never had a black woman who actually stood up and said, I'm standing up for the black. It's 6 months, 2 weeks, whatever it is, and that woman refuses to cooperate with your ideas, does not want to get with your program of right, whatever it is, then I tell those men, get rid of that woman and get another one. And I tell black women the same thing. If you are with a man that you cannot be in agreement with, then get rid of him and get with the man that you can be in agreement with. If the man you're with is not treating boys who have hair weaves.
We don't agree with that. That's not UPK. I'm just trying to get to
Our self-esteem, our self-respect, everything that we stand for as a female, we have it tied right now to our men's genitals, and it depends on what he does with those.
Let's talk about that for just a moment.
So this is an intense topic.
Yes,
I just never get a chance to explain
One
it.
thing that I read over and over again in your book was regarding infidelity. And let me just make this here. You say in your book, there is no history of the black man settling down with one woman and never desiring to have another, before slavery, during slavery, or after slavery. The black man has never been recorded to have just one woman.
Right. Well, I think there's some actual facts we can look at on that. Monogamy has failed for the white man in America.
But this is like saying it's okay.
It's not me saying it's okay. This is how they're living. I'm giving you the history of what their life is. Black men haven't been waiting on me to tell them it's all right to have more than one woman. Neither have white men. You know, this is just what they do. I'm not talking.
Yo, I'm done. All right. Y'all got any questions, man? Sister went in. Any questions? Okay. Make sure y'all brothers and sisters keep the chat guided towards. Y'all can say shalom to each other, but you want to keep the chat guided to the class, all right, and to the teacher in the class. Like the questions and comments more so being directed. You can say shalom, but just keep your questions and comments directed towards the teacher of the class. All right. Go ahead, Don Ball.
So like,
we gotta get some precepts now.
I mean,
go ahead.
Salaki, I mean, she was just being, you know, let's keep it real, let's keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Like I forget what it was though. I was watching something, and the cat, he was being straightforward, and everybody at first, they were just kind of laughing. But when he kept whatever persona, character, whatever, it was consistent with everything that he believed, everybody was just kind of like, good night. Like, he went on some dating thing, whatever, you know, and he showed up. He said, it's like sniper broadcasting on all platforms, you know what I'm saying now. Some British cat, right? And he came on a dating show, he's like, yeah, I had sex before I came here. So now you know that I'm here, I'm fully drained right now. I'm here for you.
This dude is a nut case.
I'm here for you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just trying to, you know, sleep with you. And his response at the end of the day was like, I don't care, you know what I'm saying? More or less, I'm not here to impress you. I'm not here, you know what I'm saying, you know, for anything of that nature.
Right.
This is just who I am.
Right.
And he was talking about all the bad decisions and, you know, how he's not focused on love. He says, listen, I have something that needs to be shared.
And what's your point, huh? Yeah.
But he was just being blunt and straightforward about who he is.
Okay.
And when they start to realize, it's like, yo, this cat isn't joking. It's not a facade. He really does this. This is who he is.
Okay.
And the sister, even though she was like, ew, that's nasty, that's disgusting, by the time they got to the end of the interview, you could see how she was like intrigued.
Right.
She was curious though. Even though he said, listen, I had sex before I came here with you. And by the end of that interview, she was kind of like, yeah.
But how you bringing it around?
Kind of. Well, Slakia, with the sister.
The honesty of the sister.
Well, Slakia, because she was just being honest about, you know, this is what it is. When sisters start to realize, you know what I'm saying, that we don't need permission, you know what I'm saying, to, you know, be who we are. And going back to being on the same page, you know, of one accord, things will be just that much better though. Because sisters have been trying to change the mindset, change, you know, the way of thinking of black men. It's like
this is why I said what I said when I talked about polygyny, right? And then I brought up all the sexual deviancy. And our sisters should fight against the sexual deviancy rather than just accept all the sexual deviancy, which women tend to do. the vast majority of women don't care about the LGBTQ community. Am I right or wrong? They'll tell you what? Oh, it don't bother me. Some of them have friends that are lesbian, gay, bisexual, right or wrong, right? So it's like they'll just accept that society. Everyone's ready to accept the society of this world when you're not supposed to live like that. Because this world is wicked as hell. Go ahead, huh?
She said here on page 171, she said, the black man should not lie. He should tell her the truth, untampered with, in such a way as to make her understand. And the reason why I was using that sort of example is because this brother, he told this sister, you know what I'm saying? I believe it was a sister. He told her the truth, unfiltered, of course, though. And by the end of it, everybody that was watching was just like, I mess with that. Like, look, this brother, you know what I'm saying, is giving it raw and unadulterated, of course, though. He's confident as into who he is, of course, and he sticks by his belief, though. They thought at first it was a persona, but by the time they were convinced, like, I need to be more like him.
Right.
Even if they didn't choose, you know what I'm saying, to go out and say, I want to chase after all these women and whatever else stuff, by the time it was done, it's just like, everybody should be more like him. It's a lot. So.
Yeah. Give me Romans chapter 12. Start with verse 1.
Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present yourselves, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
That you do what?
Present your bodies a living sacrifice.
What does that mean? The young man in the chat, if you're still in the chat, what does that mean? Read that precept one more time.
Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, brethren. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service.
Which is what?
Your reasonable service.
Present your bodies a living sacrifice. You present your body as a living sacrifice. In order to present your body as a living sacrifice, let me check here. Questions or comments? Go ahead and pop them in. Pop them in. Questions or comments? Done. But God, but what? What's up, Ak Shalom? Mighty man. Yeah. Always ready and rocking, man. Non-stop. He love orders. I told the brother, you all right, brother? You all right, huh? I had to slow him down. He want more. That's a spirit of the Most High. That's right here. That's what this precept means. What this brother is dedicated to. Your body does no longer belong to you. It belongs to the Most High. It belongs to this truth. It belongs to this word. When we were saying it during the Feast of Unleavened Bread. You know what I'm saying? Our schedules is, this is first. This is what we do. I haven't slept since 1 o'clock this morning. You know what I'm saying? It's because we just on go. We don't even notice it. The brother get off his slave, he come here. Right? I get done with class, I go to the slave. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Most High in Christ, give that a hand. Not boasting on ourselves, because I'm not doing half of what I hear of other brothers be doing.
God.
What's the Benjamite name from Northern Ontario? Just wrong there. Shar Yawan? I don't want to say his name incorrectly. Salaki about that. Right? The brother that he's pulling up the name, this brother drove from Canada, northern Canada, all the way to Florida. He drove with a mattress in the trunk, damn it, of his minivan. Do you understand the dedication? So, go ahead.
Lashawan.
Lashawan. Is that dedication or what?
Okay.
Wow. That means that this brother presents his body as a living sacrifice. He ready for this. He wants this. This is serious to him. Keep going.
And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
Holy. Holy means separate. You're not supposed to be like the world, man. You're supposed to be separate of this world. You're supposed to look at this society and feel what? That's why ISUPK is different than everybody. It's because we different, man. We serious about it. We don't sing a song and just sing the song as a joke. We're not just singing this song as a joke. We serious in the ISUPK. We're holy. We're separate. We look at this kingdom and say what? Babylon is falling. Like we believe that. To rise no more. Like we serious about this. I don't want that pork. It's okay. Just peel the pepperonis off. You ever hear him say something stupid? You said they used to get y'all sandwiches at the slave, right? Well, why don't you just pick the pork lunch meat off? That's all. Just pick the ham off of your sandwich. It's turkey and ham. And Esau don't know how to be righteous at all. He don't. My slave, it's the slave that I work for, over 60 stores, right? Each store has breakfast sandwiches. We have different options. What are you talking about? That's what the different options are. Sausage, bacon, ham. I laugh. I go, yo, how is that a different option? Well, some people, they prefer the bacon rather than the sausage. They prefer the sausage rather than the ham. I go, it's all pork. Yeah, we got turkey, but we keep it in the freezer because nobody buys it. You had something you wanted to say? Young man, you had something you wanted to say? Go ahead.
When I was at school, we had pizza, and I said I can't eat the pepperoni. They just said, you can take it off, the pepperoni.
And what did you do?
I just shook my head.
You just shook your head.
Because the chemicals can still be on the pizza.
Because the what?
Chemicals.
Because the chemicals can what?
Can still be on the pizza.
Give the brother a hand. The goddamn chemicals can still be on the pizza.
It's like,
Go ahead.
she just said, like, they use radiotherapy or radiation to try to kill the worms that's inside, you know, and like, many people have done it. They've taken go get a pack of ham and put it out in the sun and watch what happens. Come back to it. And you see all the little worms, of course, they'll just, you know, crawl, of course. And you wonder why you got a tapeworm in your stomach. You wonder why, you know, like, you got all types of health elements. You got alien inside your body that will not die.
That's right. And the only reason why it's there is because the Most High told you not to.
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing it just because he told you not to. Okay? Amazing. Amazing. So you being holy, you got to be separate. You got to look at this world like this world is wrong. Society is wrong. I'm against this society. Everybody say they believe in the Bible. Yahushua said what? In this world, but not of this world. Y'all can't help it. Y'all love this society. Shake that off. Acceptable unto God, unto the Most High power. You're supposed to be acceptable unto the Most High. Not your girlfriends. Not your boys. Not the block. Not the streets. Not Harvard. Not Yale. Not the universities. Not your career. Acceptable to God, which is your reasonable what?
Service.
What?
Service.
Your life is about a service. That's why we have rank. That's why we have one accord. That's why we have submit. For men and women. Read verse 2 for me.
Romans chapter 12, verse 2. And be not conformed of this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of
Be
God.
not conformed to this world. Be not conformed to this world, but ye be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind, not conformed. To conform means to with a formation, with everybody else. Y'all with Dwayne Wade, ain't they? Ain't they out? They with Mike Tyson, ain't they? They with everybody in the world. You with everything of this world. Don't be with everything in this world. Don't be with nothing in this world. The wave, the wave, the wave. ISUPK, we can never follow a wave because we the goddamn ocean. Woke, 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 brother. Woke, woke. You better be woke. This the woke rap. This the woke conscious. This the woke thought. The ISUPK is not woke. You know why? Because we never been asleep. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell nobody to be woke who's never been asleep. What we waking up from? We never sleep. Renewing of our minds, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable. And what? Acceptable and what?
Reasonable.
Nope, nope.
Oh, it's like it. And perfect.
And what?
And perfect.
And what?
And perfect.
Oh, we got. And perfect. And perfect. I won't move on. Perfect. Perfect.
Salah.
Please.
We were told, be ye perfect as the Father in heaven.
Thank you. One accord. Be perfect. Submit. It's your service. It's your duty. Let this be your life. Now, when they hear that, they think it's horrible and wrong and a term archaic and ancient and patriarchal and of the old, and it's so boring. It's so sad. It's horrible. Did you find your son at Passover? Did it take you hours? It took you hours, didn't it? I couldn't find mine for hours. Then when I finally found them, I didn't care because I'm having drinks with the brothers. I'm having laughs with the sisters. Is this a horrible place? This is such a horrible place. It's a cult. And you know what they do in there? You know what they do in there, Father? They beat their women. All the sisters are beat up. I ain't seen no bruises on them sisters. Them sisters was making all that unleavened bread. You was holding Shamar at the door, right?
God.
Wasn't it nothing but sisters around, happy, having a great old time, passing out food?
God.
Every sister I walk past, shalom, sir. Shalom, sir. Shalom, shalom, Cap. Shalom, Captain. Captain Azania, shalom, how you doing? Shalom. It's good to see you. Oh, it's good to see you. Oh, that's a beautiful dress. Oh, that's a nice garment. I don't sound like some women getting their ass whooped. Excuse my language. A woman getting her ass whooped is doing what? Help me, please. Call 911. That don't happen around here. I seen more sisters with bottles than I saw brothers. Am I right or wrong? Their children don't have no fun. Their children sit like this in class, and they will beat them on their knees with a ruler if they don't get right. We had the Passover. I turned to my left. I said, what is that over there? A bouncy house? We got bouncy houses at the Passover. Who was there? Was it a donkey? A pony?
A pony.
A what?
A pony.
A what?
A pony.
There's pony rides? Oh my goodness. Let's not forget the children's party. Go-karts? Laser tag? Did you play laser tag? Was there any Edomites there?
No.
Was there any Moabites there?
No.
We had the entire venue to ourselves. Shout out to Captain Mama Quad and his red. Got the entire venue. Mario Andretti. That was a theme park. There was a roller coaster there. See the roller coaster? There was a water ride there and go-karts. I said, this is amazing. I stood at the door and I looked. No, before I got out of the car, I looked. I saw a family with two hideous Edomite children. I said, oh my goodness, they so ugly. I gotta eat, y'all. Hurry up. Come to the door, and the guy tells them, sorry, we're closed to the public today. And the woman looked. She looked over the fence. It was nothing but Israelite children bouncing all around and running and playing. And she goes, but, ma'am, it's for a selective party. They rented out the entire venue. Please come back tomorrow. We'll be open 10 a.m. I said, that's the Most High. Children don't have no fun in the UPK. Oh, the black party. Oh, excuse me. Sisters don't have no fun at the black party? I've seen about 20 electric slides. Right or wrong, huh?
Go.
They couldn't stop the electric slide. Boogie, woogie, woogie. The dance hall music was pumping. Issachar had his songs jamming up in there. Everybody dancing. Looked like the sisters was having a good time to me. Let this be your world. Let this be your sun. Let this be your moon. Let this be your oxygen and your water. Transform by the renewing of your mind. Holy, acceptable unto God, your reasonable service, good, acceptable, and perfect. Let this be everything. Because it is. And if it's not, you can't pick and choose in here. I like what y'all, you ever hear them Christians? I like what y'all say about this, but I don't really agree with that. I like this part, but you know. Be the first ones to call you on the phone. Yeah, let me tell you. Yeah, man. These white folks be tripping. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Come on, man. You know. I had a Christian just call me right before class. I said, brother, did you go ahead, man, and make that business deal? Go ahead and make that business deal. Now, I don't know if I should do that. You know why? Because these white folks be tripping. You just told me white folks is your brothers. And we should be nice to white people. You just said that. Well, what I mean is, come on now, brother. You got to admit they're culturally different. They're culturally different. So that means that they're a different world. So don't conform to the world. Why don't you accept the world that the Most High gave you? Read the precept one more time. Huh?
Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
Be a living sacrifice. Sisters, be a living sacrifice. Fight the demon. Brothers, be a living sacrifice. Fight the demons. Be a living sacrifice. Because what did Charles Barkley used to say? Anything less would be uncivilized. He said that about deodorant. Right guard. He made millions of dollars off of the slogan, anything less would be uncivilized. God damn, he feels that about deodorant. You can't feel that about the Bible? About the Most High God? About your King, Yahweh Shah? You can't feel that about the truth? You can't feel that about what you believe in? Because you want to be friends? Because you want to have girlfriends? You want to be cool? Because you want to listen to your family? This is for brothers and sisters. But you won't accept this? You won't pick and choose? You can't. Keep going on. A living sacrifice.
It's like a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service.
Unto the power, which is your reasonable service. Keep going.
And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
Yo, you don't believe in what's good. You don't know what's good. The scriptures that say, they that say, woe unto them that say what is good, evil, and what's evil, good. They look at this and say, what? We evil. They a cult. They weird. Beards on their face and braids. Look how they dress. They evil. They so hurtful. You can get more flies with honey than you get vinegar. You know how else you get flies? With a pile of doo-doo. Flies love doo-doo. So go eat some doo-doo, damn it. Your body, your life is supposed to reflect what is good. When Yahweh Shai said, be the light, let your light shine, he's talking about your existence. You're in a relationship, you're supposed to be submitting. You're supposed to be in order. And it's reasonable because it's good. And how do you think black people are so destroyed for? Why do you think black people are so destroyed? Because we don't want to present ourselves a living sacrifice. We can't make a goddamn sacrifice. Go fill your trunk up with some coke. You'll make a sacrifice for that, won't you? Go strip down to be butt naked in a club filled with men throwing dollars at you. You'll sacrifice to do that. That's horrible, man. That's wicked. You'll sacrifice for your lust for the world, to conform to the world. Well, make a sacrifice by renewing and transforming your mind. Make a sacrifice for that's what's good. Some weak Christian called me this morning and said, hey man, I see you got that beard. Don't it get itchy? Don't you just want a different look sometimes? You want to just shave it and rock the goatee? Just once? I said, what? I said, are you a homosexual? He said, nah, man, I'm just saying. Damn. Just one time, you know the beard grows back. This beard is mighty. These beards is mighty in here. This the style. What is you talking about? This is glorious right here. Let Yahweh Shai talk about some, I want to trim up my side. Let me trim up the side right here. Yahweh Shai ain't worried about no stupidity like that. His beard look glorious. It's a badge of honor. That's just an example. Stop trying to be like everybody else, goddammit. Be like the Most High Power and what He's called you to be. Be like Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Be like Christ. Be like the men in the ISUPK. Be like the priests and the prophets before you that's come back into the earth. Be like Commanding General Yohana. And with that, I pass the class over to the Shamar. Shalom, Israel. It's like, I gotta take this call.
ISUPK security announcement. We're at ISUPK start at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, underneath the leadership of Commander Johnny Hanna, root for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they're to be saluted. They are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to show themselves to the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment, Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, mean 10th in Hebrew, Ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives to you, gets to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free offering for priests, not mandatory. What's amount you would like? Upcoming holy convocations. We are on the feast of first fruits. Check the bulletin board back. If anyone wants to be a trooper to school, start wearing our black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that, courtesy salute to the men. Navisra, Majin, Shabbat, Majin, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Brakathum,
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Brakathum,
Desmatah, Saul, one courtesy salute to the sisters. Navisra, Majin, Shabbat, Majin, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Alathon Ba'Hashem Yahushua. Yazabata. Class dismissed.
I'm gonna get a picture for that.
Yeah.
Change that name. I don't know why it's still doing that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you want some?
Yeah. Give me 3.
Oh.
I'm for sure.
Well, I put that in. It's not really couldn't say Skittles.
No. I'm not here.
Why you just say Skittles or M&M's?